Hello, I'm Jonathan, and welcome to the Tamworth FC Social, a podcast all about Tamworth Football Club. Well, a maximum of 3 wins will be enough now for the Lambs to secure the title. That's after their 0-0 draw with Chester on Saturday. Next up is Kings Lynn Town away. They are one of the division's in-form sides. Don't forget you can follow us on social media at TSC Social Pod. You can click subscribe below this video and switch notifications on to be updated when we upload new episodes. So then, Brett, that 0-0 draw at home to Chester on Saturday, big old crowd there for it as well. Kind of feel like a point, not the end of the world in that one.
I think it's an excellent result. Biggest attendance for Tamworth at this level. Didn't lose. Obviously, Chester are a really good side. Already lost to them this season. Big club. Obviously, regardless of what's going on results wise, at the end of the day, they're a big club with a big following, and they've got obviously a decent clout about them. If you can't win, don't lose, and we didn't.
The reality is you're not going to go all guns blazing, are you, when you're in the position Tamworth are in? It's really now just about being pragmatic, I think, isn't it? And like you say, if you can't win the game, make sure you don't lose. And I think a point in this one, especially given the result in the reverse fixture when Tamworth lost, it's really it's really not that bad, is it?
I think the important thing now is that we manage the next 6 games in the correct way. There's no point in going all out and attacking from the start of the game if you are going to then start dropping points and losing games.
The fact there was another clean sheet as well, I think that is yet another sign that this team is built on solid foundations. Because if Tamworth were, say, winning games every week like 4-3, I think in the long run that's probably more concerning, isn't it? Because at least the clean sheets are a sign of a solid team, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 23 clean sheets in the season. That's ridiculous. That is some stat that you hear from like a Man City or a Chelsea in 2005 or something. That is a fantastic stat, and we should be proud of that stat, and that's an achievement in itself. I think more positive for me with that is if we are probably looking maybe a little bit too far forward with this, but if you're going to look into next season, for argument's sake, if we get promoted, we are going to have a small budget in that league. We are going to be up against it almost every week in that league. At least we know we can defend.
Surely it's got to stand you in better stead to be a defensively solid team rather than a team that has games that are quite stretched. And I think especially as well, given Tamworth's back four this season, it's not been the same back four every game, has it? I mean, there's been changes along that back four, and it's been seamless, but like most of the time, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I think a lot of that probably comes down to Jazz Singh, doesn't it? As much as the back four's been, it's had to chop and change. It's been Singh in goal all the way through. So I think it just shows how integral he is to that back line. Because if you know you've got him behind you and he can command all that presence. And look, he's been at the club a long time now. He's obviously been very successful with Andy Peaks. He's clearly confident playing for Tamworth and playing for the club. And although he isn't the captain, it's like having another captain when you've got someone who's that. It's like Brad Frieda back in the day when he was at Blackburn for all those years, or all the other ones that you had, like UC Jaskalainen and those the lot.
It's now a maximum of 9 points or 3 wins to mathematically secure the title. I presume nothing's changed for you, Brett. You're still expecting Tamworth to get this wrapped up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't think it's in any doubt. I think if you take it on the face value for what it is, though, it doesn't look quite as wrapped up as you think. If you take away the fact that we're 13 points clear, if you take it that we need to win 3 of the last 6 games, that is still a 50% win ratio. And that's difficult for any team under any circumstances to win half the amount of games that you play. It's a tough ask. But obviously, on the flip side to it, we need 9 points and we are there.
Yeah, and also it might not even need to be 3 wins or 9 points that gets it for Tamworth, because obviously that relies on Scunthorpe and Chorley having a 100% win ratio in the remainder of their games. Next up for Tamworth is this trip to Kings Lynn Town. They're probably one of the form teams in the whole division. They've won 6 of their last 8 and they're on a 4-match winning streak. despite the fact they are 16th in the table, they seem to have turned it around and showing now the form that got them to second place last season. So there is a pedigree there. This is going to be a tough game, isn't it? Really, away from home as well.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to make of this. Well, I mean, there's quite a fierce rivalry from the Kings Lynn point of view with us anyway. They're in great form. You know, we're always now, probably have been since January, the team to beat. There's always that extra incentive for them to go away and beat us anyway. Their striker Margaret's, I think he's cool. You know, he's scoring plenty of goals at the minute. You know, it's on the telly, so it's going to be a really difficult game. I think anyone who's under the illusion that because they're 16th in the table, you know, and we're top, and there's a bit of rivalry there that you know, that we're going to go there and probably give them a bit of a pasting. I really don't think we will. I think game management for Saturday is crucial.
I'd expect though, Andy Peets and Tamworth will go into this with a very thorough game plan, and maybe similar to the Chester game, will not go totally gung ho and will sort of approach it more pragmatically, perhaps. What do you think?
I don't know if we probably need to really stake a claim of the game early on. You know, they're in form, aren't they? They're going into it with confidence. Of course, we're confident as well. Top of the league, we're champion elects. So I don't know if we're better off going at it first 20 minutes, really going at them, playing it on the front foot and putting them under pressure, and then slowing the game down after whatever happens in the first 20 minutes.
Graham's not been able to join us for the recording of this week's episode, but he has given us his thoughts ahead of Saturday's game.
I think this is going to be a very, very interesting game. Kings Lynn have been in really decent form past sort of 5 to 10 games. Have been one of the informed sides in the league. They've certainly turned it around from where they were at the start of the season. They got in Adam Laitland from Curzon and who've done a good job there, and obviously Curzon have gone on to have a decent season with the foundations he put in place. I suppose he's coming to Kings Lynn, who are a club who is expected to be in a much better position than what they are. I think a lot of people would have probably expected us to be where they are right now, rather than vice versa. So, credit to us, obviously, for the season we've had. When you look at their form, most of their points has been picked up on the road. So they're actually not quite as good as home as what they are away. And they do tend to concede quite a lot of goals. So I think there is going to be some goals in this game, and Tamworth don't score that many goals, as well as not conceding that many goals. But I do think there'll be a couple of goals in this game, just for the nature of kind of how it's gone with them when they're playing at home. I think we've got to go for it as well. It's a cracking occasion for the club. We're on TV, live on television, on TNT, which is absolutely fantastic. Really, it's a cracking occasion for the club, and just puts us on the map as well for national coverage. So hopefully we can give a good account ourselves and show why we're at the top of that league, and the players can step up and all of those things to make it a good day for us, which I'm sure they will do.
So, Brett, as this Saturday's game is on TV, I thought we'd just have a quick look back at the previous games Tamworth have been on TV for. I think last week we might have briefly mentioned the Norwich City FA Cup tie in 2007. Are there any others that jump out to you?
Yeah, Forest Green, last game of the season when we had to win to stay up and we were absolutely dreadful. 16-year-old Lewis Conlon in goal, so we had like 4 injured goalkeepers, and then Jake Sheridan's cross-come shot that was never ever supposed to be a goal ends up going in. It keeps us up. That was in 2011.
There hasn't been loads and loads in terms of what I could find before we did this chat. There was in 2013 against Bristol City, the FA Cup second round game. And I think as well, probably Tamworth were quite unlucky not to get the likes of the Stoke City FA Cup tie, either the first game of the replay on TV, or I don't think Everton was on TV either, was it? As a live game.
No, we were on the TV against Burton in the Setanta Shield. That was, I think, 2006, 2007. Pretty sure we might be on the TV in the FA Trophy final as well against Burscough.
I wonder how much this will affect, either set of players, if at all. The fact that it's a televised game, slightly earlier kickoff than generally they would be used to for a Saturday game. Do you think it would affect anyone at all?
If you're on the TV, you should be raising your game. And I think that the Tamworth players will probably be better suited and have the platform to do that more so than Kings Lynn, just given the league position. Because I suppose ultimately, as well, anyone who's tuning into that game who's a neutral, they're tuning in to watch Tamworth, not Kings Lynn. They're going to be having a look and going, oh, is Tamworth the top of the league? Well, 13 points. Let's see, this might be a half decent game. So, they're definitely not tuning in to watch Kings Lynn, I would have thought. Unless, obviously, you're a Kings Lynn fan or you're from the area. Yeah, I think the early kickoff could be detrimental as well. Obviously, it's quite far to go. So I imagine that they're going to be having to stay over the night before. But then that obviously makes Friday quite a long day as well if the players have been at work before. But it is what it is, isn't it? You've got to turn up. You play these games. You play your best. You go out and hopefully you come away with 3 points, and then we roll on.
You're going, aren't you, to this game? Have you been to their stadium before?
No, I think I remember was being in the same league as Kings Lynn maybe once or twice. Randomly remember Gareth Sheldon leaving us to go for Kings Lynn. I don't think they were in the same league as us at the time.
Predictions time then, and a quick reminder, in our predictions mini league, you get 1 point for correct result and 3 points for the scoreline exactly correct. Last time, both Brett and Graham thought Tamworth would beat Chester. That game ended 0-0, so it's as we were in the predictions mini league, both of them tied on 20 points. Graham has sent us his prediction for Kings Lynn Town away.
I think it's going to probably be a tight game based on the fact that Kings Lynn have been in good form, and Tamworth are usually very good away from home as well anyway. So I am going to predict that it will be Kings Lynn 1, Tamworth 2. I think if we come away with that result, it would be very, very good. And it will set us up nicely for those last sort of 5 games of the season, and hopefully getting us one step closer to where we want to be.
That's what Graham's gone for. Brett, what are you going for?
I'm really struggling with this one. I'm quite cut and dry on either yes or no kind of thing. I really can't. I can't call this one. I am going to go for a 2-1 win. And I think we will snatch it right at the end. If we do snatch it right at the end, do I get an extra points?
No, afraid not. Given it's so tight in the mini league, I think Graham might call foul on that one. But you're sensing some drama. That's certainly a sign for optimism, I suppose.
I think it's going to be a great game. Kings Lynn have found form at the right time when they needed to find it for themselves, steer themselves away from relegation zone, and we are in the process of masterminding our way to what should be a really great league win.
We'll leave it there for this episode of the Tamworth FC Social podcast. Thank you for listening. You can follow us on social media at TFC Social Pod. If you've enjoyed this episode, please do give it a like and do subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can do that by clicking the subscribe button below this video and turning on video notifications. Until next time, goodbye.